Hey everybody, me tonight. So far, Rob's running a little bit late. We have a killer guest. It's going to be awesome. We'll see. We'll see what time he gets here, and I expect everybody out there in chat land to give Rob a huge chunk of shit for showing up late. Welcome to the Jeremy Show. What do you think? Is that a better thing? I think I heard a honk. I'm going to go ahead and play this intro. Maybe I need 2 sets of crickets.
Yay! The crazy fat guy. Hi, I'm Rob. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome to the Jeremy Show. Have a seat. Come on in. You missed everything. Sean's awesome. You missed it. He said to hell with Rob.
Fuck that asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You doing all right?
I'm just gonna go with yes.
I like it. That's a good short.
God damn it.
Good short answer.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Hi.
Yeah,
And I'm Rob. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everybody already knows that, buddy. All right. I'm going to bring in Shawn. You ready to meet him?
Yes, let's bring in Shawn.
I know you've been chatting with him.
Yes.
I've never chatted with him yet. I have chatted with him.
He's a lovely guy.
Yeah. This parasocial world we live in is kind of crazy. And here he is, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, there he is.
Shawn, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yes, sir.
You made it.
I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
I think it's the second time I've ever been late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Shawn, again, I sincerely apologize for being late.
Are you right on time?
If you're late one more time, I'm replacing you with a hot chick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck with that.
We'll call her Rob too, though. Don't worry.
Rob too.
That way I ain't got to change a bunch of shit. Yeah.
So, all right. Somewhat in my defense, because I'm sure white people are wondering why the fuck am I late. I camped on a sandbar over the weekend, and my ass got super sunburned. And it's like, have you ever? I don't know if you've ever been sunburned. It like sucks the life from you. And like the last few days, all I've been doing when I'm not working is sleeping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drain you.
Yeah, I'm still dehydrated. Like, I've been killing fucking water, and I'm still super dehydrated. I can feel the dryness on my lips.
You need some waters?
I do need to go get some water here in a moment. So anyhow, again, hi, I'm Rob. I'm an asshole, and I was late, so I apologize.
And apparently he can't use sunscreen.
Yeah, apparently not. It was my fault. My girlfriend actually asked if we should bring sunscreen. I was like, oh, no, we'll be fine. We don't need sunscreen.
Yeah, it's Florida. It's not like it's a sunshine state.
Yeah. Don't need that.
Yeah.
Shawn, you know something about Florida? You're in Jacksonville.
Yes. Yeah.
You're killing it over there. How's it? How you liking it? I lived in. We had a short conversation. I wasn't much of a fan of Jacksonville traffic. I'm not gonna lie.
So I moved here in 2005, and surprisingly, it has improved a lot since then. Traffic is way better than when I first got here. It's better and worse. All the roads now are 6 lanes, which is good, but everybody drag races on them constantly. So
Right.
It's pretty wild west, but you get everywhere much quicker if that's even possible here in Jacksonville. It takes an hour to get anywhere, but
Yeah. So you got there just before I left. I left in 06.
okay. Yep. So it's changed. Like I live off of Kernan Boulevard, and when you were here, Kernan was probably like a 2-lane, but now it's a 6-lane.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it's like a freeway going down Kernan now, and that's all neighborhoods.
Yeah, I lived about 10 miles from work. It took me around an hour and 10 minutes.
I believe it.
Yeah. It's gotten a lot better. They've done a lot of infrastructure stuff, and so it's a little easier. And then the nice thing is 95 is easy for us to get up to the Carolinas or down to Miami.
Yep.
And then we got I-10 to get to you guys.
Yeah, that exciting drive, shooting down I-10.
That's the most boring drive ever.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after you guys. I go visit family. I'm from Alabama, so I go visit family in Mobile, and ooh, that's treacherous. From Tallahassee all the way to Mobile, it's just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that I-10 is 2 lanes. Well, I guess we should say 4 lanes total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all have all the state troopers. All the state troopers right out like on our side of Tallahassee, right at that hill. They're always camping there, like 6 or 7 of them.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? They're
Yes, I
always
do. Yes.
Yeah, we are way policed on our roads around here, between the sheriff's department, 2 different police precincts.
Like even getting here, like I was trying to really haul ass, but at the same time, it's like if I get pulled over,
Yeah,
it might be bad.
that'd be even funnier.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't have my ID on me either. Yeah.
There you go.
That would have been fun.
Well, I'm sitting here looking at you. I feel bad for you. I'm going to go get you a couple waters, but why don't you talk to Shawn a little bit?
Yeah. So, Shawn, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I was looking through your Facebook. You got some achievements there, buddy. I'm gonna go over
gray hairs.
Sir?
That's what all these gray hairs. They just lots of years of stress, and I guess.
Yes. I'm just gonna go over this real quick. I saw this and I was like, damn. Thank you. Oh, he brought me 3 waters. Oh my god. Yes. I'm gonna go over this real quick. Studied economics in jazz studies at Auburn.
Yes.
Former board member at Arts Advisory Council. Owner of Vintage Watches. Writer, instructor at iRockU.com. Owner-founder at First Coast Piano Services, tuning, repair, and restoration. Keys vocals at flowingrits.com, and organ at Spot Organ Trio.
Yeah, and I actually I had a school of music, First Coast School of Music, that I founded in 2006, and I sold it in 2019. That we taught all throughout North Florida and over like 30 different after-school programs and middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools. And then we had 3 studios in town too. So been teaching for a long time, been playing for a long time, but when I sold the business in 2019, I started playing full time again. Before that, I was playing probably 3 or 4 shows a month, and now the range is between about 12 to 25 shows a month.
You said that you're currently playing 12 to 25 shows a month.
Yeah, as much as I can. So.
Oh my God.
So tonight's like his only off night, and he's hanging out with us.
Yes.
Come to see you guys. Yes. So Wednesdays is the day I usually teach. So I teach on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then play the rest of the time.
So music is your full-time gig then?
It is. Yep. Yeah. My father. I've been playing music. So, like you said, I studied music at Auburn University, I'm from Alabama, and my dad's a singer, a soul singer, and I grew up. The first band I played in was with him when I was 17, and that was like an 8-piece band with horns and doing Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding kind of stuff. And then from there, I've just played with just about every kind of group, and I've been on records of reggae, country, rock, pop, jazz, blues, a little bit of and Latin as well.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, being a full time musician, that is every musician. Well, I don't. Maybe not you. Maybe not this guy over here, but it's damn near every musician's dream is to be able to do it full time in one form or another. You know, be able to support yourself and live off of music in general. That is really cool.
It wasn't easy. So, but yeah, I like it. And like when I started my school of music, I was working full time in a corporate environment at the same time I started school of music. It got busy enough in 2008 where I was able to leave my corporate job, and that's all I did was just taught and played from 2008 and now it's I teach a little bit, but I mainly just play. But it's not for the weak-hearted for sure. Actually, last week we were in New York City, had shows scheduled in New York and Brooklyn, and then down in Baltimore area. And they had flash flooding in New York. So our shows on Friday got canceled because of the flash flooding. And thankfully, our show in Brooklyn on Saturday was good. So, but it's the nature of the beast, you know, is things like that happen. And it's not like a regular job where you just clock out and go home.
No.
Yep.
No, it isn't.
Travel halfway across the country and then show gets canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough.
Yeah, so it happens. It's rare, but it was a nasty storm. But all the other shows end up going off well, and then I think I played 8 shows in the last 10 days. So so now I'm resting. Until tomorrow, I have a show tomorrow though.
You at least have a roadie carry all that stuff for you?
No, it's just me. Even with a Hammond B3, 400 pounds of just, it's all me. So
We got to do something to stay in shape, right?
yeah, I guess. I hurt myself one, you know.
Yeah.
So so I'm mainly an organ player. So I play the organ, and I have a big Leslie speaker cabinet. So sometimes I also have a keyboard, a Hammond keyboard, that I'll take that, you know, for the smaller shows, or if it's on a second floor somewhere.
Oh yeah. Almost makes me feel better about being a bass player. Maybe I'm not carrying all the heavy shit.
We're right there together, because especially if you're carrying like one of those 810 Ampeg type things. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's like my Leslie. My Leslie, I think, is like 150 pounds, and then but the Hammond, yeah, that thing's 400 pounds. So it's not fun, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you did it 8 out of 10 days.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shawn, what is the difference? And there may not be, but what is the difference between an organ and a pipe organ?
So the Hammond organ is, the tones are generated by these little circular discs called tone wheels, and they have little grooves in them. So when they spin, they produce tones, like, and then each tone, each little wheel has a pickup on it. It's like in a guitar that picks it up, the sound, and amplifies it. Whereas a pipe organ a pipe organ is actually pushing air, I believe. I tell you the truth, I don't know crap about pipe organs.
I recently, I say recently, probably a month or so ago, I watched a documentary about a guy setting up pipe organs,
Wow.
and it was this whole involved process. And I'm a layman. I don't know shit about it myself, but it was a very very hands on and involved process just setting up the instrument. The organs that you play, do they also have the pedals?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I play bass with my feet and also with my left hand. But yeah, I play the bass pedals.
Yeah, see that's got to be one of the more, I guess, difficult instruments to play in the sense that you really are using all four limbs.
Yeah. Yeah. Using all four limbs at the same time. It's like it's almost like a dance because your feet are moving, your hands are moving, and you really become. I love it because it's the most complete instrument. As you can see, I have a bass back there. Bass was after piano. Bass was my first instrument. I started playing bass when I was 13, and then I started playing guitar when I was 14, 15. But I always loved the bass, and but the organ bass and the electric bass are two different instruments that I have to play differently. I have to approach them differently. I used to try to play the organ like I would a regular bass, and the sound just never was right. And then a close friend of mine that's just an amazing organ player, he said he told me to basically play the notes heavier, like more legato, dun dun dun, as opposed to boom boom boom, and it makes the organ just this fat sound that just kind of just this big. I love the organ because it can sound like an orchestra. It can sound like a symphony. For a guitarist, I can create just this cloud that they can just solo over, and I can kind of envelop them. And then as we're building it up, I can push it even more and get it even more intense, and they can build it up and just float on top of it. It's to me like it's the most complete accompaniment and instrument. I solo a lot. You can treat it like a horn or a guitar because I'm really just like a frustrated Jimi Hendrix. I wish I was Jimi Hendrix. And when I was playing the piano, I was studying jazz at Auburn, and playing the piano, but playing piano is like an acoustic guitar. It's percussive and but I just wanted something that could sustain and something that I could just overdrive and just and then came across the organ and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been dreaming of my whole life. It's like the guitar and the piano mixed together.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it a lot. I feel at home. I feel like I'm behind a Boeing 747 right in the cockpit. The organ. It's a big instrument, and it's got all these controls, drawbars, and things. I should have set up at the organ so you could see it, but it's I feel at home there.
You mentioned setting up the other musicians. It's cool that you are playing and mindful of what the other musicians are doing. I can tell you whenever I'm playing guitar, I'm not paying attention to what the bass player is doing. Like it's like I've got my part, you do your part. I'm gonna be over here, you stay over there, and
You're supposed to follow us, Rob. You're supposed to follow us, the drummer and I.
Yeah, they're driving the bus, man.
Yeah. This guy's too busy licking the windows to notice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I decided to like I played the organ for a little while where I wasn't playing the bass because I mean it takes so much effort, and I had to spend years kind of perfecting that. Um, but I had a difficult time finding a bass player that some of the music that plays is pretty weird. I'll take kind of jazz, funk, fusion type stuff that might be odd chords and progressions and things like that, and even odd timing. I spent a lot of time in New Orleans, so I love like that type of funk and that syncopation. It's hard to find drummers and bassists that are familiar with that style. So I just started playing. I said, okay, I'm gonna just do it myself until I find the bassist that I want. And then I just got stuck in it because being a bass player, you're the driver of the bus. Like where the music goes, it follows the bass player. Obviously the drummer too, but the bass player is both rhythmic and melodic. You know, they're controlling which chords we're playing and the rhythm. So I really feel like the bass player is the driver of the bus, and so that's what that I just kind of ended up in that position because it was easier for me to drive the bus sometimes.
And being a bass player yourself, I'm sure you probably have a certain type of player in mind, and it had to have been that much more difficult for you because of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And the style. So my current group, I have a trio called Spot, the Shawn Pfaffman organ trio, and it's just organ, drums, and guitar. And the guitarist was actually my student. So I started teaching him when he was 11, just this prodigy kid that um, picked everything up that I taught him. And he ended up winning quite like all these different awards and stuff. And I stopped teaching him when he was about 17. And then at 19, when I was recording a new album, and I was trying to find the guitarist that I want to be on this album, I just kept coming back to him because he understood how I view, like how you're talking about, like listening to each other, building dynamics and stuff.
Yes.
Since I had taught him, he knew all those things, and he was one of the best guitarists I've ever worked with. And he was only 19. It's crazy, but he's 21 now, and so he's in the group. And then our drummer, he's actually in his 60s, and but this guy grooves his ass off. He just it's fun to play with him as playing the bass lines. When I'm playing, I'm having to think bass lines, comping chords. You know, I'm playing the like rhythm part, and a lot of times I'm doing the melody. So I'm having to, and if I'm soloing, because we do jazz, it's a million things going on in my mind at once with and my feet playing bass too. So having that solid drummer alleviates to where I'm not, at least I'm not having to worry about rhythm, you know.
You mentioned how your student is now now in your band and everything. As a musician, you're always growing and changing and developing and progressing. I've been playing guitar a long time myself, and I find that even at this point in my life, I'm still learning new stuff, or I'm learning, little idiosyncrasies about the instrument. Do you feel that you're still teaching your student, or has it come to a point where it's like, you know what, I have nothing else to teach you? What's
It's
that like?
cool. It's cool because we kind of teach each other. So I'm still teaching him. You know, there'll be times where like I build guitars too, or I have in the past. So I know a lot about like the inner workings. So we get to talking more about tone, um, the different types of amps and things like that, and the different types of tubes that will create different tones, and even little things like, you know, where you're picking the attack, those small little nuances. But most of the time I'm teaching him about artists, and I'm saying, hey, check out these people. But what's neat is that he loves prog rock and like Dream Theater and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And he's teaching me all the time about different artists, and you know, he'll say, hey, let's try playing this song. And of course it's an outrageously hard song. I'm like, all right, if you want. And the same thing with the drummer. The drummer, he's from the DC area, and he's been playing for just a long time in numerous different styles. So I would talk to him about, I love music, and I don't think the learning ever stops.
Exactly.
So I'll get him to teach me different rhythms on congas and stuff like that. I was just in Egypt a couple weeks ago.
What?
And yeah, it was my 25th anniversary with my wife.
That's awesome.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I picked up a doumbek. You know, every time I go to a different country, I try to pick up one of their drums or some kind of musical instrument. And then usually when I'm there, I try to get someone to show me how to play it. But I didn't on this trip. So, but he knew some and showed me a few things. So it's a never-ending process. I practice and play every single day.
I recently, just speaking to, progressing and changing, etc. I recently discovered the wonderful world of digital. What's the
recording?
Yeah, digital recording, and oh my God, Shawn! Now I have all these amps and all these, all the little things and the
modeling,
the pedals, and the modulation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like all this right here at my fingertips, and there's just so much that you can do with it, right? And so I'm messing around with sounds that I would never have otherwise given, a chance to come to light. So the point that I'm getting at is that I don't think I'd ever go back to just buying a regular, amp or whatever. Now that I have all this, all these options and tones at my fingertips, it's really cool.
Yeah, instead of going through $1,000 in pedals.
Exactly. Instead of going through $1,000 of pedals and trying out different amps, and you're spending all this god awful money on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's right at my fingertips. It's a really exciting time in Rob World right now.
Are you doing too, like with the digital audio workstations? Like
exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. I have a digital audio workstation, and yeah, it's I'm still learning. Like there's so much to it that, bro, I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing most of the time. I'm just kind of pressing buttons and seeing
what it does.
Yeah, so let's see what this does, and then it goes. It's like, oh, the wrong button, I guess. And again, that also lends to the experience of learning. Now I'm learning how to fucking record. I use those terms very, very gently. Learning how to record. I'm not a sound engineer, but by no stretch of the imagination.
Every time I go into a studio, I'm like paying close attention to what the engineer is doing, because you learn so much just from doing that. Like everything I learned, all of my albums I have recorded myself, and then I would have professionals mix and master it. But as far as like at least all my personal albums, I would just kind of like, I would learn from them, get a good clean signal, make sure it's not clipping, make sure there's no outside noise. And then as long as it's that, like drums, everything. I do all the recording myself, and it's kind of a pain, doing all that, but it definitely saves money and saves time. And then I never could get the whole mastering. It's like it's pretty good, but when a professional and they have all those extra processors and more software and hardware than I ever will, they can run it through and give it that really clean professional sound.
Absolutely.
So I just been approaching it that way.
It's a good way to do it. Get all the expensive hard stuff out of the way, and then send the files out and be like, "Here you go, guys. Tune this up."
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Now they'll little slight EQs, and a lot of times, like my favorite engineer, he'll ask me, "What sound am I going for?" And I'll tell him, I really like this album, this particular album. I like how the drums sound on that, or how the organ sounds on that, or the whole album in itself. Because some albums you listen to and instruments are panned right and left. Sometimes they're all in the center, and each one creates a different feeling and a different kind of an environment when you listen to it. So I'll kind of study other people's albums and find things that, like, okay, I like these certain aspects about these different recordings, and just kind of go from there.
With all your travels and all the instruments that you've played, I think this is one of the most difficult I've ever seen. I've never touched one. I know nothing about it. But have you ever tried an accordion?
No, I have a friend that plays accordion. He says he just fiddles with it. But he was telling me that it's like difficult as hell. That it looks simple, right? It looks like you just play. It's got single notes, and maybe you hit some buttons there. But he says it's really hard, and I've never even tried. No, at one time I played well over 40 instruments, and to where I would feel comfortable performing with them. Now maybe like five or six.
I didn't even know there was 40 instruments.
Did you say 44?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, with all the brass and woodwinds and the stringed instruments. Yeah, I used to play like mandolin, violin, so banjo, all those kind of things. I'd have the people that work for me, I'd ask them, I'd say, "Hey, will you teach me?" And so I had experts all around me, and they're teaching other people. So I was like, "Why don't I learn too?" And that's a good idea. Yeah.
One instrument that I wish that I knew how to play is a cello. I love the sound of the cello. I could listen to cello music, and I do occasionally listen to. I say cello music because I'm not well versed in any specific artists or anything of that nature. But the point that I'm getting at is, if I had the opportunity to learn how to play cello, I would definitely do that.
I think cello is one of the most beautiful instruments ever. It's fat, but like it cuts through. I saw a group one time. It was a female that was playing the cello with pedals. So it was like straight up distorted, and just the heaviest rock, just and then she just cut it off. I was like, oh, it was beautiful. It was incredible.
And that's one of the reasons why I love the instrument. It's so versatile, and there's so much range to the instrument. I mean, from the lowest lows to the most beautiful, pretty highs. As far as melody is concerned, it seems like a very versatile instrument.
Yeah, and I think it's close to the human voice too. It's just got this warmth and fullness to it. Maybe like a man's voice, but yeah,
that's something I've never thought of. Yes, it is a lot like the human voice, I suppose.
Yeah, it's right in that range. Like it's, and it can, like you said, it can get really low or it can get pretty high. And yeah, it's a wonderful instrument. I know how to play it. I know how it's tuned, but I never got good at playing the cello. That's one I wish, and the double bass too. You know, like the stand-up bass.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be able to learn how to do that too. It's a whole, you know, you would think that they're the same, but it's not. The way you have to approach the upright bass is totally different and difficult in itself.
What, Rob?
Do you know how to play the double bass?
I had a Palantino upright for quite some time. Yes.
No shit.
Yep.
So you know how on bass or guitars how I'm not talking about the fretboard itself, but like the very top of the fretboard, you know how you have the markings, you know, in every third fret. Are those also on double basses?
Fretless.
Well, I'm not talking about the fretboard, but I'm talking about where you have the markings.
No.
Like where you're looking.
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
Not.
What I would do, at least for the violin, I put little pieces of stickers on there to kind of show me where the frets were.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, they don't have them on there. You just have to hear it, or you kind of get used to where the positions are.
Right.
Or you're like me and you just cheat and put a sticker on there.
Another really good example of that, as far as stringed instruments are concerned, the harp. You know, I couldn't tell you how many strings are on a harp. It's more than 4, though.
Yeah,
More than 4.
Yeah.
And I kind of doubt that there are any little, you know, cheat markers, I'll call them, like you have on guitars and basses.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that seems like a very hard instrument to play.
Yeah, like I have a my electric guitar is Ibanez S series, and on the fretboard, you know, there are no markings, no inlays on the fretboard, but at least, you know, we have the little cheat. I'll call them cheat markers. I have no fucking idea what we call them.
This one here, it's got the 1.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like that. But whenever you look down at it, you've got the little markers.
Yeah, on the side, on
the side. Definitely a saving grace. Yeah, if there, I'd be lost.
I made this one.
That is beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. And this is like a gold abalone, gold mother of pearl inlays. Yeah, these pickups by a guy named Lindy Fralin, and he'll make them exactly how you want. So like this one's wrapped at 9,000 wounds, and this one's wrapped at 7,000. So you get a nice warm tone there, and more attack out of this one.
Yes.
So on out there. Yeah.
I love that color. What is that?
Like a navy.
Okay.
So I decided to go with like a navy blue and gold accents. So
you know, guitars of that style, they're usually either, you know, like black or, you know,
or red.
Or red, right? You'll see them in white every now and then, but see one in that color, that is really cool.
Yeah, I've always liked blue. As you can see, that one's blue too. But I don't really play guitar out much. Like the guys that I play with, they've dedicated their whole lives to it. And my student, he literally plays 12 hours a day every single day. He was homeschooled. Yeah. So their level has far surpassed mine. And the things that they can do with a guitar, I don't even like to take it out. I will play it at home. And yeah, same thing with bass too. Like my bass skills are pretty weak. But this is, I'll show you this one. So this is what I bought. I was cutting grass when I was 12, 13, and I bought this guy for $75. I still have it. This is my first bass when I was like 12 or 13. Little short neck bass, and I loved it. But I went and changed out the pickups at some point, put some bass lines in there. But it's just a little cheap piece of junk, but man, it has a lot of sentimental value to me.
Sometimes those little crappy ones are the best. That one, you can't see it on this camera. Maybe this camera. No, can't see it there either.
Like on this one?
Yeah, maybe on a TV one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's a little double cutaway.
Yeah.
With a D-shaped neck. I picked this up for like $80 in a pawn shop.
Wow.
And then through the baseline pickups in it and Hip Shot Hardware. We did all the pots. And this is the one this is the one I played in Atlanta with the bullnecks.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like how it's got the neck's kind of going through the body.
Yeah.
Yep, next roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we at. There we are. Oh my
Man,
God.
you got a steal off of that thing. I'll trade you. Hey, I paid $75 for mine. I'll trade you.
This one doesn't have much sentimental value other than playing it in the Drive Invasion.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I figure a 3-piece body with a 5-piece neck through. The bones on it are good.
Exactly.
All the hardware was garbage and everything, but
change it out. Yeah, that's what this one. I ended up changing all the tuners, and I made my own nut. Now the guitar that I made, it's actually got a woolly mammoth tusk. You can buy fossilized. Yeah, you can buy fossilized ivory chunks. Ivory is illegal unless it's a fossil. So you can get like saber-tooth dragon or saber-tooth tigers or woolly mammoth. So that's what I did. I got a chunk of woolly mammoth and then made my own nut with it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
That is really cool, actually. Yeah.
That's cool as that.
Making a fucking nut out of a fossilized ivory.
Yeah, you could probably do knobs too, huh?
Yeah. And it was only like I think it was $20 or $25 for a blank.
Okay.
So it was not like $1,000 or something. It was.
Yeah, I thought you were telling me it was a astronomical price.
Yeah. And every time I tell people, I'm like, yeah, that's woolly mammoth, and they're like, what? Yeah, that's woolly mammoth.
That's fucking
we have some chats.
Yes, we do.
Should
we get through a couple chats?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we're 42 minutes in and we haven't even said hi to anybody but Shawn. We got hello Jeremy. This is from the Jeremy Show. Welcome to the Jeremy Show. That's right. Tammy says welcome, Rob Late Pants.
Thank you.
Samantha says welcome, Rob and Shawn also. Welcome to the RTO or OTR show. Samantha's got a question. You ready for these chat questions? Sometimes they get a little nutty.
Yeah.
All right. We got what's one thing you're learning now or learned recently?
So I actually had to learn. I was asked to play a wedding this past weekend, and I learned "Here Comes the Sun" by the Beatles. It's like so I learned that, and then but I've mainly been working on albums. So we've got 2 more albums that are coming out this year, and I've been working on a lot of that stuff and kind of ironing out my sounds and what I'm going to play in the different parts.
We got Jamie says hi. We got another question. Oh, we got Dick Burt. What's up, gang?
Dick.
Got to give him an air horn. A new they're putting out a new episode Friday, or not episode, but a new show.
Muses.
Yep, Cue the Muses.
Yes.
Samantha asks, what's one of your biggest work pet peeves?
This is gonna sound terrible, but like, don't take this wrong, Rob. But
People
when
being late.
yeah. I don't mind the night because you guys, I'm y'all's guest. But if it was like me and I have a show or something, if people in my group are running late, like that drives me bananas.
I sincerely apologize.
No, you're good. You got. Hey, I'm your guest. Like, it doesn't bother me now.
So it's I do acknowledge that it looks super unprofessional, and I fucking hate it myself. So no, I'm really
It happens.
really kicking myself in the pants over it.
You are that late.
You know, either that or when we're playing and like people aren't listening. Like for in my genre of music, you have to listen. I say my genre of music, but like in the jazz funk world, you have to constantly listen to each other. And I like it when people are listening intently. Yeah, it's like a conversation like we're having now. That's how it is. That's how I view it when we're playing.
I'm laughing at this next question.
Yeah, we got a good one for you. C. Mason Run, shout out Thunder Snake. He said, if you donate your time playing organ, are you an organ donor?
Yeah, I guess so. Not the I have donated organs, not bodily organs, but I've given away other organs. So I'm an organ donor. And if I die, my license says I'm an organ donor too. So
Samantha asks, if you could teleport, what would you use it for the most?
to visit my son. So my son's in school in New York City, and yeah, he's my he and my wife are my favorite people. So
what's his primary instrument? Did he take up after you?
So he did. So I never pushed it on him because I didn't want him to be like, I hate music and I hate it because of you, Dad. So, but he was always around it. And surprisingly, he plays numerous instruments now too. His main instrument is guitar, and he also plays piano and drums. And he played on Bill Street in Memphis as a drummer in different award-winning groups. And but he sings and plays drums. He also plays trumpet. But he's studying astrophysics, so he's crazy about space.
Say what?
Yeah, he loves space.
I have an interesting fascination over astrophysics. There are actually a few YouTubers that I follow that are astrophysicists, and a lot of it is like they speak in such scientific terms that sometimes it's very hard to keep up with what they're saying. But when you understand at least the gist of what it is they're talking about, it's extremely fascinating to me.
Me too. I always tell him, like, explain it to me like I'm a child, because these words you're saying, I don't understand any of them.
Exactly.
And he will, and it's up until he was born. I'd look at the stars and it was cool, but I never thought much about it. And when he was like a little kid, he was just crazy about it, and it just never went away. And now he's doing research trying to figure out like dark matter and dark energy and black holes and all that kind of stuff that is really changing how we perceive things. And now with this new telescope up there at James Webb,
yes,
it wasn't until a couple of years ago that we actually saw the black hole for the first time. Up until that point, it was only a theory. So he's kind of like right at the epicenter of like a golden era as far as what we're discovering now. And it's neat. He gets passionate about it, and I get excited just hearing him talk about it.
You're absolutely right about what you said. James Webb is showing us things. The James Webb satellite, excuse me, is showing us things that we've never seen before, and the things that we have seen, we've seen in like pixels. I want to say a good example of that is Pluto, or it might have been Neptune, one of the most outer planets. Before the James Webb satellite, we only saw these planets, in very small pixels, and now we're seeing these things for the very first time in the highest definition possible.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Very neat.
So he's got all that technology and everything, and aliens are coming out too. This is a good
example. Would they have a congressional meeting or something a couple months ago about the UFOs?
Yeah, about the national.
Here in Jacksonville. It was the one. You remember that little thing looked like a Tic Tac?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was apparently here in Mayport, like here in Jacksonville. That the Navy pilots were chasing.
Yeah, good luck catching that thing.
Exactly.
Samantha says she loves your guitars.
Yes.
Thank you, Samantha.
Buck, Trial by Stone, what's up?
Pew, pew, pew.
There you go, buddy. Shannon says, hey, guys, love from the ATL.
Nice. With the Buccaneers.
I want to hear some. Shawn. So I have 3. I don't remember what button it is. This button right here. What do you think of Thank You? I know it's a little bit older one, but it's in that same very room that you're parked in. I'm pretty sure it is. Guitar's in the same spot. Got that painting in the background.
The same painting, yeah.
Yeah.
We can see how it turns out. I've been working on my singing a lot over the last few years, so it might be kind of terrible singing, but we'll see.
I thought it was good. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm a singer though. I don't know shit about it. So, well, what that will do, Shawn, is give us a 4-minute and 39-second break if you need to use the bathroom, get a drink, or anything like that. And our mics will be muted, and we will see you in a minute.
Okay, sounds good.
With my blindness, carry my soul 1,000 miles, take me home, free me from these burdens and pains. Drag me along this dusty road, my back is breaking from this old road. Won't you please take the reins? Your love is my light, your warmth is my guide. Show me the way and how to be free. You and my life makes everything alright. Thank you for staying with me. Have my share of bumps and bruises, been knocked down in time or two. I won't let those things keep me down. My spirit's been crushed by people I gave my whole heart to. You didn't leave, you stayed around. Your love is my life, your warmth is my guide. Show me the way and how to be free. You and my life makes everything alright. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for staying with me. Your love is my light, your warmth is my guide. Show me the way and how to be free. You and my life makes everything alright. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for staying with me.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't work.
No, you can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I really don't mind.
There we go.
I don't have to be in the picture.
Two things. That was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
Oh, thank you.
And that's completely not the same room. I was way wrong.
I think it might. Well,
It's 100% the same room. I changed the painting.
yes. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so we got the other painting over there now.
Oh,
Ah,
So
Where do you
this
get
was I'm sorry, what was that?
those are cool. Where do you get such big paintings?
So my wife's best friend is an artist, and she painted those.
Nice.
those are awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of your wife, I'm assuming "Thank You" was about your wife.
Ask me again. What was that question?
The song that we just played, "Thank You," was that about your wife?
No, so I have written a few songs. I actually just wrote her an album for our 25th anniversary that's on Spotify now. But that song was actually kind of written for my grandmother. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then just kind of in generic terms, but she was the inspiration for it.
Very nice. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the the music I play, I've gone through different iterations of like, do I call it Southern jazz? Is it soul? What to call it? And now, like the music, it kind of spans a big variety. So I just say creativity expressed through soul, jazz, funk, and blues. You know, it's definitely got that Southern feel because that's where I was just born and raised, and I've always grown up in the South. So it's got that kind of blues and soul aspects to it, and then the jazz is when I add different things like the chords that are a little bit more used in jazz or the soloing. It's heavily influenced by New Orleans and that type of jazz.
I can see that. It's interesting that you mentioned the southern aspect of it. I don't like to necessarily compare. This is not a comparison, is the point that I'm trying to get across. I was kind of getting a little bit of Billy Joel from that one, but his music is so soulful. I mean, soul for days, right? So I think soul is a good way to put it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so too. It's those old soul artists that I play with my father, like Otis Redding, and Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, James Brown, those guys. I love that music, Dock of the Bay and things like that.
I saw a video of you, and it was a project, and you had a saxophone player. Is that's not the same project you're in now, correct? Or was that guy kind of a stand-in?
So he's on a few of my albums, and whenever I can afford him, he comes and plays shows with us. So his name is Juan Carlos Roland. Bad. Like that guy, when he speaks through his horn, it's one. He's so connected to that instrument, and he toured with Al Green, and he's played on a lot of stuff. He's a total professional, and just speaks with his instrument. Yeah, he's bad. So anytime I can, I play with him. But Juan ain't cheap though.
You talking about how he speaks through his instrument. I really feel like whenever it's just me and my guitar, like whenever I'm kind of in my room by myself, nobody watching, nobody listening, it's just me and my guitar, I really feel like my guitar is almost an extension of myself. It's like a part of me.
Yeah.
If you will. It is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I feel like I can communicate more clearly with my instrument a lot of times than I can with my voice.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Hey, one question that I wanted to ask you. One of your projects, I don't know if you're currently doing this project or if this is a past project, Flowing Grits.
So I'm still doing Flowing Grits. So Flowing Grits came about out of COVID. So a drummer friend of mine, we couldn't play, so everything was shut down. So we were recording a lot, and I asked him if he would come and record on some original songs with me, and he did. And then he said, "Hey, he lives up in Fernandina Beach. He's like, there's this one place is right on the ocean. They're starting to have live music outside on the beach." And yeah, they're all right, good. And so it just started off like that, just organ and drums and singing. And now it is 3 years later, we still play 4 times a month, all up in Fernandina. And we're playing tomorrow night. That's the Green Turtle there, and then on Saturday at the Palace. So still doing that, and it's all funk and soul, but more dance stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, popular stuff that I still like, kind of obscure things. So I'll bring out like the Spinners from 1970s with. You remember that song Rubber Band Man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll do things like that, and a lot of Stevie Wonder. Yeah, have fun. It's a fun time, but it's almost all cover stuff. Whereas my original thing is some shows are all original, and then other shows are like half and half, original and covers.
You gotta throw in the covers to have fun, but at the end of the day, at least for me, it's about my music. It's about what I'm putting out.
Yeah, and even when I do covers, I still do it our way.
Yes.
So so it's unique to me because my voice is never gonna sound like Stevie Wonder or James Brown. I am who I am, so I just play that way. And I'm an organ trio, and organ's my foundation. So a lot of my music's gonna just sound like that. Organ, funk. I love funk music too.
I was curious, especially about the name Flowing Grits. It's a really cool name. I'm guessing it's kind of like a double entendre. Flowing grits. Because whenever you pour grits, you want them to have. You don't want them to be runny, but you want a little bit of flow to them. But at the same time, there's the flow of the music.
So you're right on. So flow does stand for the flow of the music and Florida. And then grits is like great rhythms in the South or grooving rhythms in the South.
No doubt.
And then this you might not understand this, but back in the day there was a show called Mel's Diner, and the waitress was Flo, and she would say, "Kiss my grits." So that's it came together with all those things.
My mom has said that "kiss my grits" more times than I can possibly recount. I've always wondered where she got that from.
That was it. Yep.
I'll be damned.
Stole it from Flo.
Yeah. So that's exactly how it came out. Those double entendres and just kind of using the word in numerous ways.
See, that's what I really appreciate, especially about music. There's so much that you can do with it, and I just appreciate how you are creative about the name of the project. Didn't just call it the Shawn Project or the Shawn Pfaffman Project. How many people have done that? It's like, come on, man, could you not put something a little bit more original?
Well, my name has been bastardized so much in my life because the P is silent. Right. Nobody ever said that. It's always, every time I go play somewhere, it's misspelled. They call me, Shawn Pfaffman and Fat Man.
Shawn and I had this conversation in our chat because I also have a last name with a silent name. So is the P silent? And he confirmed, yes, the P is silent. It's Pfaffman.
Like your K.
Yeah, right. Like my K, right. I told him, and this is a true story. I've had telemarketers call me and that's to speak with Rob Cannolis.
Cannolis. Forget about it.
I am not a Italian. I'm not a delicious Italian pastry. No.
You sure?
Pretty sure. Most days.
If you guys get a chance during COVID, so I got COVID like that fall in December, and I isolated from my family, went upstairs for 10 days, and I wrote a whole album. And I released it. It's so different than all my other music, but I think you guys will really like it. It's listed under C.S. Churchman. My name is Christopher Shawn Pfaffman, and Pfaffman means man of the church. So I so I released it under C.S. Churchman. And there's a song on there called Window Panes that I use that double entendre of pains as well, like pain, P-A-N-E, but also like pain as in, like hurt.
Absolutely.
And that is probably one of my favorite albums that I've ever done. Because I was just kind of stuck in isolation, and I was writing about stuff that was on my mind at that point, being like, am I going to live? I knew quite a few people that had died from COVID at that time. So I was kind of freaked out, and I guess being freaked out and alone will bring out some creative juices.
It absolutely will.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it must have felt, being in a room. I'm guessing you stayed in the same room for like 10 days, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's solitary, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if I could do it. But I mean, but having having the ability to go in a room and stay in that room, but it's just you and your toys. That sounds like fun, actually. Now that I think about it.
Like I'm an easily distracted person. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. My wife says I do, and so being in that room, and I would text them and things like that, and look at my phone every now and then. But I would just kind of get there to be by myself, and I would sometimes just turn all that stuff off, have my paper, and man, it was just like it was kind of nothing coming to me, and then all of a sudden, like the floodgates just opened, and just so much stuff just started pouring out, and I couldn't stop. I ended up doing a whole album. I was trying to do one song, and I ended up doing a whole album that week.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. That's a guy that uses time productive, because I know a lot of musicians that just whined during COVID. Oh, all the bars are closed. I guess we can't play. Band broke up. And I'm like, why don't you guys record, write, do all the shit that you're not doing while you're touring?
Yep.
Do something productive with play the hand that you're dealt. If you get dealt the shitty hand, play it. Figure it out.
I released three albums that year, and then I was on probably 3 others, like other people's stuff. And some of that was I would go to the studio and record, and then we would still have our mask and separated, but we were still recording. And then others I would record in my house and just email it to them. So that was a very productive time for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got better. Ready for another question?
Yeah.
All right. Samantha asks, what book did you read that changed your life the most?
Well, this one didn't change my life the most, but recently, you know who Rick Rubin is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I know Rick Rubin. Yeah.
So his book that just came out, Creativity, and it's a wonderful book. My son actually gave it to me for Father's Day. I think it's Father's Day, my birthday, and that book is fantastic. It's so easy to read. Like he writes well, and I'm fascinated with creativity, and that book just spoke to me.
Rick Rubin has his name has been on so many artists over the span of so many genres, from thrash metal to hip hop. He's done Slayer, he's done Metallica, he's done Jay-Z. I mean,
everybody.
Yes, he's done the BC Boys. His name has been all over the place, and I've listened to some interviews featuring Rick Rubin. He was on 2020 not too long ago, actually, and listening to him talk, I get the impression that he just thinks differently.
He thinks different.
Yeah, it's like he's on a different level mentally and creatively. Creatively, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like that. Trying to make words up over here. But
he does.
Yeah, he's on a different level.
When I saw that interview too, and when he was talking about how a lot of times, like if he's listening to something back, he'll just like lay on the floor.
Yes.
And kind of just absorb it all in. So he was on my radar because, like you said, I mean, he's worked with so many genres and for so long, and he understands something that most of us don't. And so when I started reading the book, a lot of that stuff started coming into more clarity of his process and things and how he lets things happen. And it's so far, like, just from reading his book and kind of taking some of that stuff into my own life, I feel like it's helped my creativity substantially.
I really appreciate you bringing that up. I'm going to read it, especially with the little thing that I have going on myself right now. Yeah, I need to read that. So thank you.
It's a great book, and it's the way he wrote it. Each chapter is only like 3 pages, so you read through and you're like, wow, I just finished that chapter, and before you know it, you finish like 10 chapters, and there's a lot of chapters in it. I think there's like 400 pages in the book, but it reads so easy and so fast. I'm a slow reader, and I finished that book in less than a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and I both. I am also a pretty slow reader myself, and so because of that, I have reverted to audiobooks. Kind of get over that hump. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, I like that book a lot.
You have a book that changed your life?
I don't have a change my life is such a
Has to be a book. It can't be a TikTok video.
no. Change my life that is so sharp to the point. There is a series that I am a fucking fanboy nerd about. It's called the Dresden Files. It's a fantasy series by Jim Butcher, and Shawn, it's like become one of my favorite things in life. This series. Again, it's called the Dresden Files. It's urban fantasy by Jim Butcher, and I reread it all the time. I'm actually rereading it right now. My girlfriend Shannon, she's reading the series for the first time. It's like, I can't wait for you to get to this part so I can talk to you about it. Has it changed my life? No, but I love it though.
How do you spell that?
Sir?
How do you spell that?
Dresden, Dresden.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Dresden Files.
I
mean, it really hasn't changed me or in any aspect of my life, other than, again, it's like just one of my favorite things in life.
Nice. How about you, Jeremy?
I would say The Richest Man in Babylon.
Okay.
By George Clason, I do believe it is. It's a financial book about it's a money book, but it changed the way I think about every dollar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I definitely suggest it for anybody over the age of 7.
Yeah, I'll take that out for sure. Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, it's an easy read too. It's a financial book that reads like a story.
Nice. Yeah, I love financial stuff too. As you mentioned earlier, I have a degree in economics. I'm fascinated with that kind of stuff too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to be this day and age to get anywhere. You gotta know how the money works.
Yeah.
Wedge yourself in between it somehow.
Yeah. And then the psychology of all of it. How would you
Yeah, you want to read this one, Shawn?
How would you use your extra time if you had 25 hours each day? As opposed to 24, just 1 hour extra each day?
If you had one more extra hour each day.
Man. Yeah, I mean, it's probably pretty lame, but I'd probably sleep.
Yeah.
That actually is not a bad idea.
Yeah, the sleep or play some more music. Yeah, or like what gets me is we're a small operation, so I end up doing a lot of the booking myself of shows and managing and like the when we're traveling, trying to keep all that together. Man, like I can't ever catch up on that stuff. So maybe I'd use it for that.
Now your bandmates, if you book something, do you have to check with them first to see if they're I don't know if they have other jobs or what like that, or going to be out of town that day?
They're both full-time musicians too. So the yeah, I have access to their calendars. So
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of so I know when they're available, when they're not, and it's in real time. So we all use Google Calendar. So if they add on another show, I'll see it immediately, and I know if they're available or not.
Why? Yeah. Why don't?
And by the way, I'm trying to convert us over to that.
I know
We're
you've been telling us for 2
we
years
we,
now.
we tried to set up Google Calendars and something happened. I wasn't privy to what happened, but now that I'm in charge of that, yeah, I'll see if we can make that happen.
Please do, because
Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah, it definitely makes life a lot easier. And then too, most of the shows we book out like 6 months to a year in advance. So I usually have a lot of time to kind of make sure everybody's available and that kind of stuff.
I'm just curious about the logistics of that. You know, like whenever you book something out and you put it on their calendar, are you like, hey, by the way, in 8 months we're going to be in New York, or we're going to be over here in Memphis. How does that work?
That's it. Just
Okay.
exactly. We have a group text and hey, we just picked up a show on such and such date. And if for some reason somebody forgot to, it's never happened, but say if they forgot to put something on there, then they would just tell me then, and at least I'd have enough time to get it fixed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, your website's pretty cool. You can actually go and look at a calendar and see what you're doing tonight.
That comes straight off my phone. That's Google.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And I have on Google Calendars, I must have like 10 different ones, like my personal stuff, my shows, each of my bandmates, their availability, holidays, different stuff like that. So what I did was on the website, it's just my shows calendar. And whatever, like if I go and add something on my phone, I do everything on my phone. So if I add a date right now, it'll pop up on my website immediately.
See, I'm like 20 years behind. I just got a calendar that you can, or a planner that you can write in. Just got one.
Cool.
Today. No kidding. Today, it was a gift.
There you go.
A mechanical pencil. I write in, hope to wake up on Tuesday.
Yeah, I put those kind of days in mine too.
You talked about how all the shows that you're playing each month, you have to love what you're doing with with your kind of schedule and your kind of commitment and investment that you're putting into it. I'm sure whenever you're home, it makes it that much sweeter to be home, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to figure out a way someday where I can travel around with my wife and we can like go to different places, and we really want to go spend time in Europe. So I'd love to be able to play shows in Europe, have her with me, and just kind of go around playing shows. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Got a couple more chat questions, and then we promise we might let you go, maybe.
Sure.
Samantha asks, what's one thing you currently trying to make a habit of?
So There's quite a few things that I'm trying to make a habit of, but this is one that has nothing to do with music. But I'm trying to just like put lotion on my face. I had I had a facial done, and they were like your skin is dry. That's why you got all these wrinkles. So so I've been trying to just put lotion on my face so that so get rid of some of these wrinkles. I earned all these wrinkles, by the way. All this gray hair. I started going gray hair in my early 30s. And my dad's always telling me, like, you need to dye your hair. You look like an old man. I said, shit, I earned all this, so I'm keeping it.
Aloe has been my best damn friend here recently.
For the past couple days?
Yeah, for the past few days.
Yeah,
Oh my
now
god.
you see the importance of hydration?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, I've always been I've always been a hydrationist, if you will.
Yeah.
He making up words again. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Shawn, seriously, I've been killing water. Water's been kind of a thing for me the last couple months, and especially these last few days.
Oh yeah, you did your 10-day.
Yeah, I did a week long water thing where all I drank was water for a straight week. No alcohol, no caffeine, no energy drinks, no tea, water.
Just water.
Yeah.
What did it do? What did it do?
It didn't really do anything. Well,
I was
okay.
hoping to hear some cool, I had so much energy.
Okay, that's not entirely true. It actually did change my my perspective on drinking water. I truly enjoy drinking water now. I drank water like mostly enough before that, but definitely after the fact, I now really enjoy drinking water. Like I can drink water with a meal and be fine, whereas before, like I had to have tea or something other than water. Now I don't mind drinking water. I enjoy drinking it now. So that did come out of it.
My wife drinks water all the time, and she's in her office. She takes a big thing of water. She'll drink it throughout the day, like 8-10 cups at least.
Yes.
I just can't imagine. Like, yeah, I've always had to have I used to drink a lot of Coke Zero, and then I recently realized that's just terrible for you. So but I still like it. Coke Zero and beer, and so,
oh yeah. And make no mistake about it, I love beer. I love whiskey, but I'm also very moderate whenever it comes to that stuff. Coke, I'm really only drinking when I'm drinking whiskey, which is terrible.
I used to, before every show, I used to have a Red Bull, and then during the show, I would have a Guinness and a Diet Coke.
Oh,
and to kind of balance each other out. And
yeah.
And now I'd only drink like 2 or 3 Guinnesses and 2 or 3 Diet Cokes in the whole show. But I was learning just a few months ago, energy drinks, carbonated beverages, and really not so much beer, but the liquors. It's terrible for your body. I'm like, oh man. So I had to get rid of the energy drinks and the Diet Coke or the Coke Zero, and still drink Guinness, but Guinness is like water almost.
Guinness is my go-to drink or go-to beer. I love Guinness. I will put down a pitcher of Guinness by myself, which is again not the best thing for you, but I love Guinness.
I think it's the nitrogen. The nitrogen bubbles is softer and easier on my stomach.
That's my shit.
Yeah, that aspartame and Diet Coke and all that shit, that shit will make you go blind.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That might explain a few things.
That's why that ingredient is in red. It's awful stuff. Not that I'm a medical doctor and cannot give.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we got to say some shit on YouTube or something about how we're not.
We're not medical professionals.
Yeah, basically, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Do your own research, people.
All right, last question.
All right. Samantha asks, what skill do you think everyone should have?
Empathy.
Oh, did you say empathy?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a skill, but I feel it is.
Yes.
That's a good one. I was going to say fire starting, but he just totally, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say something stupid like driving. Driving is one of the few things in life that I do well. But empathy, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. If I think if everybody just had more empathy, there'd be a lot more kindness in this world, and yeah, people would be a little bit more patient. Oh, there you go. It's real kindness. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, kindness, understanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we end the show, we do have a plug that we need. We have a show we need to advertise real quick. If you'll give us just a moment, Shawn. Saturday, December 9th, Legacy at Riverfront is the Christmas rock show at Legacy. Trial by Stone, Thunder the Snake, Defy the Tyrant, Satin, Internet Girlfriend, False Chase, Mutual Friends, The Fetish, The Sparrows, Curly Q, and This Dying Breed. Saturday, December 9th, Legacy at the Riverfront. It is for PACT, P-A-C-T. It is for a charitable cause. Look them up. Check them out. Pay your tab. Pay the waitress, or not a waitresses, no. Tip your bartenders. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is for a charitable cause. And I will be there.
And links are in the description.
Yes.
Along with all of what I thought was all of your links there, Shawn, but you got so many projects going on. I didn't collect the rest, but I got your main stuff.
Yeah, my website, kind of everything filters through there too. So
yeah, so go to his website, check all that out. And I can't thank you enough for your time today.
Yes, Shawn, thanks for coming, buddy.
Thank y'all for having me. It's been a blast. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great. I kind of feel bad. You need to get to your wife. This is your only day off. And until we get 25 hours in a day.
Exactly. Yes. All right. Well, y'all have a great night.
You too.
All
Take
right,
care.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of both. Where's the outro there? Boop.